Mars exalted, very powerful. Now, the question is, will you use this power or will this power use you? Destruction versus discipline. Choice is ours. Namaskar. My name is Amit Garg from Bharat Astroveda. When Mars is exalted, it doesn't care whether you're ready or not. The energy is overflowing, the energy is coming. It will demand action, it will demand discipline, it will demand that you step up. And if you don't channel this energy consciously, it channels you through anger, through accidents, through conflicts, through destruction. So, discipline versus destruction, the choice is ours. And that will be also applicable at the global level, also. So, the individual level, how we can enhance this power, how we can receive the blessings and utilize that powerful energy, action oriented energy of Mars in our lives based on our rising sign. So we'll discuss that, all the 12 rising signs. Aries rising, Mars exalted in the sign of Capricorn. This is your moment. Listen very carefully. Mars is your ruling planet. That's your Lagna Lord. So when Mars is exalted, you are exalted. You are confident. Your confidence, your drive, your ability to take action, all of that is supercharged right now when Mars is exalted. So I call this the three house activation. So, first, three houses that are impacted most for all the signs, but for you specifically for Aries rising, first of all, Capricorn is your 10th house, okay, the house of career, a house of reputation, public image, and your purpose overall, externally. So Mars transiting here, it's like a rocket fuel for your professional life. So that's the time to ask for that promotion, launch that new business, take on leadership roles, and be very visible, be out there. Don't hide your work. Do that in public sphere, whatever your field is. But that's not all. So your first house, that is your Lagna, is also ruled by Mars. That is your identity, your body, your immunity, your personal power. So that is all Aries. And Mars rules Aries. So your personal magnetism, your persona, your being, your physical energy, your ability to assert yourself is at its peak right now, while Mars is exalted. Okay. And also it's supported by Jupiter. So there's a trinal aspect of Jupiter also from your second house actually, because of the retrograde motion of Jupiter. Jupiter is giving aspect to Taurus also sitting in Gemini. And your eighth house is also activated because eighth house is Scorpio, that is also ruled by Mars. And so this is the house of change, transformation, shared resources, your spouse's resources, your inheritance, your taxes, your deep psychology, and major financial restructuring is going to happen now. And there's going to be psychological breakthroughs. So you'll find your purpose, your connection with the universe. And also, if there are any intimacy issues that need to be resolved, now is the time to resolve all of this. Now is the time to face any fears head on. So this is like triple fire for you, Aries rising. To summarize, launch any big career initiatives. Your timing is perfect right now. You can also negotiate salary or contracts from a position of strength, not from a position of a receiver. So you're not on the receiving end right now. Step into leadership roles and without waiting for anybody's permission, step up and become a leader, act as a leader. You don't need anybody's approval. And also, the eighth house matters to tackle all of those, the debt issues, taxes, investments, or insurance matters. You can tackle them aggressively now without fear. And also upgrade your physical appearance, your persona, your personal brand. So, this is the time to establish your personal brand. So, you also emotionally, you may feel almost very like extremely ambitious all of a sudden. Okay. So that's okay. That's a good thing. So channel it in the positive direction. Don't suppress that energy. Direct that in the positive direction. And watch for any power struggles. There could be power struggles with the authority figures. Don't get into that. Your 10th house is completely activated, which means your bosses, your seniors or father figures, they may trigger you. They may push your buttons. So stay grounded in who you are and you know who you are. So don't let confrontations or any power struggles, they shake your identity. That's because of the first house and 10th house connection. First house is identity. 10th house is your power position. And all fears around your failure or control, they may surface. And it's a good time to let them go. Face them head on. This transit is giving you the strength to dissolve all of those fears or phobias or failure emotional, those traps that you were in earlier. On the spiritual side also, you want to meditate on your dharma, your life purpose. That's who you are, first and 10th house connection. And this transit it's illuminating your path with rare clarity. And so just practice surrendering your ego while taking bold actions. So you want to be a leader. You want to take very strong, bold action, but also do not have any ego. Surrender your ego. So act without attachment to the outcome. So essentially the message of Gita, right? So do your karma and don't worry about the fruit, or release the fruits also. So work also, you can work with your root chakra, with the solar plexus, both, because solar plexus is ruled by Mars and root chakra is the 8th house, and the first house connection is also there. So there is grounding and power at the same time. Other things you can do, of course, for everybody also, this is Narasimha mantra you can chant, but you can also offer the red lentils on Tuesdays to the temples. And then you can also do something for yourself, like more physical exercise. Your first house, Lagna, Lord, is very powerful. So whatever physical exercise you do during this period, that'll really help you, not just for your physical body, but also in your careers. And if you feel that some kind of anger, frustration, all that powerful energy coming up, then just go hit the gym, go to the gym, do some exercise, and that'll help you at work also. Again, there could be a lot of energy at work, but channel that in the positive direction. It's a very powerful period for Aries rising. Write in the comment section where your natal Mars is placed and what's happening in the sign of Capricorn, in your 10th house in your natal chart, and what's sitting in your first house, which planet sitting in your 8th house in the sign of Scorpio. So all those will also impact, and share this with all of your Aries rising friends. So this is for Aries rising, Taurus Lagna, Taurus ascendant. Mars is activating your house of higher wisdom. That is the 9th house, the sign of Capricorn. Mars exalted in your 9th house. That is all about higher wisdom, the foreign lands or long distance travels, and your dharma. This is a spiritual as well as intellectual upgrade for you. So the 3-house activation. So for you, for Taurus rising, the 3 houses that are getting a major boost, they are the 9th house Capricorn, the 12th house of Aries, and the 7th house of Scorpio. So what's happening is Mars is sitting in your 9th house, the house of higher education, philosophy, long distance travel, teachers, you being a teacher, spending time with your Sangha, your belief system. So Mars here makes you hungry for truth. That's your spiritual path, your dharma. So you want to learn, you want to teach, you want to expand beyond your current understanding. So your dharma will expand. You'll have more clarity about your dharmic path. At the same time, your 12th house is the sign of Aries. That's also ruled by Mars. So this is the house of isolation, foreign travel. This is the house of spiritual practices, subconscious mind, hidden enemies, and your dreams and other planes of existence. So expect like powerful dreams. You may get messages in your dreams, visitation from your ancestors, or sudden spiritual insights may be there. You'll have a pull towards retreats or doing more reflections, isolation. Alone time will be very powerful during this transit. And you should actually consciously spend time alone. That will activate further the strong Mars. And then you have Mars is the ruler of your 7th house. That is a sign of Scorpio and ruled by Mars. So this is the house of partnerships, one-on-one partnerships, marriage and business contracts, and also open enemies. See, 7th house is open enemies and 12th house is hidden enemies. So both these houses are activated. So relationships are going to be intense. There'll be power dynamics in partnerships. They'll be very visible, and you'll have to honestly analyze your relationship, your partnership. You have to navigate this power dynamics. Otherwise, it can blow up. So you have to be very careful in your relationships. So this combination, it's asking you to grow philosophically and spiritually, and also in your relationships. Practically, the things that you can do: enroll in higher education, enroll in certifications, gaining more knowledge, more wisdom, or any kind of professional training. That'll be fantastic for you. And then also plan like purposeful travel, long distance, like even traveling with your Sangha for spiritual purposes. That'll be excellent. And especially because Jupiter is also aspecting your 9th house. Jupiter is transiting the sign of Gemini, but it's retrograde. That means it wants to give you energy of of Taurus. So from Taurus, it has a trinal aspect. So basically, it's a combination of Mars and Jupiter in your ninth house. Very powerful activation of your dharma. So doing pilgrimage will be absolutely fantastic. But also you can travel for education, for higher studies also, like traveling abroad for higher studies. That is a big possibility. This is also a good time for publishing and teaching, sharing your wisdom, your expertise in whichever line of work or whatever interests you, whatever your skills are, whatever your authority is, you want to share that with other people. But you want to address your partnership dynamics very directly. As a matter of fact, see, Mars does not go around the bush. Mars wants action. Mars wants clarity right now. Everything about Mars is right now. You may need to renegotiate with your partners or business partners or your personal partnership, or Mars may ask you to have full commitment, not wishy-washy, right? And then also invest your energy in behind the scenes work or the research work. That's the 12th house getting activated. So all those areas. Now, emotionally also, you may feel restless along in terms of your spiritual path. So Mars will say, hey, I need answers. I need answers right now. So the old philosophies may not fit anymore. So that's okay. That's you're outgrowing all of them. Let yourself question yourself. That's okay. Question your path, what you're seeking. But there'll be hidden anger that may surface through dreams, or even when you're even at a retreat, for example. Let's say you're all by yourself, then you may feel this surge of anger coming to surface. So don't ignore these signals. They're showing you what needs attention. Just let it go. Release all of that. And see, the Mars exalted means unless you release the energy, or you may end up making decisions you may regret later on. So just release that energy, but also focus on doing action in the positive direction. There may be the partnerships may feel very intense, much more intense than usual, and there could be power struggles. So don't avoid them. On the spiritual side, this is one of the best transits for understanding your spiritual path, for like structured spiritual discipline. See, Mars exalted means you need discipline. It's the warrior in chief, ready to go to war, but you want to channel it in the positive direction. In the ninth house means, so it's a good time for, see, Mars likes structure. Mars likes everything in order. It's not like haphazard. So Mars loves like leading the army that is very structured. Structure in your spiritual path, that's going to be very important in your daily practice also. But excellent time to study with your teachers, for doing a formal retreat, everything like support your Sangha, visit temples, especially the Mars temples. That's really powerful. Ninth house represents religious places also. But you can explore the past life themes, astral travel, past life regression, honor the ancestors, or deep meditation, and practicing your selfless service without expectation. You can visit hospitals, you can visit ashrams, you can serve other people anonymously without any expectation. You can chant of course, the Mars mantras 108 times on Tuesdays, especially. The Mars beach mantra will be very powerful for you. Om Kram Krim Kram Sah Bhaumai Nama. That's because your 12th house and your 9th house, they are super charged right now. And this is all about higher wisdom and spirituality, and also sharing your wisdom. So share this with your friends who are Taurus rising, and also in the comment section, what planets are sitting in your Lagna for Taurus, and also where your Lagna Lord, the Mars, not Lagna Lord, the Mars is sitting in your chart. And that'll also have an impact. So that's for Taurus rising. Gemini rising, Gemini Lagna, Gemini ascendant. Mars is transiting through the sign of Capricorn. It is exalted. And for Gemini rising, Mars is diving deep into your 8th house, the most hidden house. So that represents transformation, births of some sort. And also Mars is the ruler of, so that's the triple house activation. That is the 11th house and 6th house are also activated. So those are ruled by Mars. So your 8th house, your 11th house and 6th house are getting a boost. So prepare to go very deep. So this transit is not about surface level things for you. Very powerful activation of these 3 strong houses. So first is Capricorn is your 8th house. So the house of transformation is the house of death and rebirth, is the house of shared resources, inheritance, taxes, insurance, all of those things. And also is the house, the most deep house in terms of is the psychological depth. It's the esoteric wisdom, secrets of the universe. So Mars here, it's a surgeon's knife. So it'll cut what's not needed, what needs to go. You need to let go. So letting go is the big theme for you during this transit. If you don't, that may cause complications. Expect profound internal shifts and transformation. On the other hand, 11th house, that is the sign of Aries, that is ruled by Mars. So that is also activated. That's the house of gains and friends and network and social media, elder siblings, big dreams and desires, fulfillment of desires. So all of that, your social circle, that is getting energized. So some friendships may end dramatically because Mars means business. Mars does not go around the bush, but you'll also forge new alignments, new friendships, new connections that may stay with you forever. And those will be very direct, very honest, very truthful, and open. At the same time, your sixth house, that is Scorpio, sixth house will be activated. That's also ruled by Mars. So sixth house is the house of health and your dinacharya, daily routine. Sixth house is the enemies, the shadripus, the six inner enemies and external enemies and obstacles and challenges and service, serving other people. That is sixth house. So this is excellent for sitting in competitive exams. Your approach to health and work, that's going to go have a radical shift and transformation. See, sixth lord sitting in the eighth house means all the sixth house matters will undergo massive change. But this is not a simple change. This is overhaul, but very powerful in a positive way. This transit for you, for Gemini, it's all about eliminating what doesn't serve you, like in your psychology, in your health, in your finance, in your friendships, especially in your dinacharya, that is the sixth house. Daily routine is going to undergo a huge change as well. So the best remedy, really powerful remedy for Gemini rising is do lots of physical seva, do lots of volunteer work, do physical work so that Mars is happy because it's so strong. It's full of energy. Otherwise, we may misdirect that energy. So first of all, you can also, in terms of other practical remedies, you can tackle your debt, tackle your taxes and your investments. If you restructure your investments or take care of taxes and debt, you can do that very aggressively and head on. Nothing to hide anymore. Okay. Second is, this is also a very good time to do deep research. You can investigate, you can audit, you can uncover hidden secrets and information that'll help you in the long run. Also network with very ambitious people, with goal-oriented people, with goal-oriented communities, with the networks and organizations. And then also set up a new health routine, overhaul your dinacharya. Address any chronic issues also, because it's a connection of the sixth house and the eighth house. Sixth house is acute diseases, eighth house is chronic disease, but both of these are impacted by the same planet, which is exalted now. So now is the time to take care of any long-standing issues, health issues. You want to transform your health completely. Also, any, let's say, inheritance. If you're expecting an inheritance, this is the time to pursue. Be very strong. As a matter of fact, don't be just waiting for inheritance. If there are some issues going on, just go. You'll be victorious. Or any insurance claims or any joint finances you want to take care of. So this is the perfect time. Emotionally, this is like deep psychological things will come to surface. Deep secrets will be revealed, and those could be good or bad, but you want to let it go. So you have to face those secrets or that transformation. Don't just intellectualize all this transformation. That's like defense mechanism. Just feel it, that transformation, and process it and release it. Any hidden secrets or things coming up, just process and release. And some of the friendships that you already have, they may feel very intense. This may push you towards even doing physical things together with your friends, and intimate relationships also. Some of the secrets may come to surface, but your friendship will actually transform you. Let your connections transform you, or you want to end those connections that are not serving you. So you're not losing friends. You're making room for like better or aligned friendships that serve your purpose. And then there will be like a lot of intimacy, emotional intimacy, and a demand for a very authentic self from your partner. So superficial connections will dissolve. They will not withstand this huge change and transformation of exalted Mars in the eighth house. On the spiritual side, this supports all sorts of transformation for you. Could be Kundalini yoga through breath work, or through any shadow work, or like astral travel. All of those things will be very powerful. This is the period you really want to make use of this energy. You can also go deep into your studies, esoteric wisdom, occult sciences, deep psychology, with a very disciplined focus, because Mars will give you that energy, that action-oriented energy to be physically, to be ready and be working towards that. You can also meditate on death. Eighth house is the exit also. So contemplating the mortality, not like morbidly, but as a way, that's the ultimate truth, the reality. So what truly matters at the end of the day is our journey through these phases, through these different planes of existence. And then, as I mentioned earlier, serve other people, especially you can actually volunteer at hospitals. Okay, so healing work. So doing healing for other people through your energies, through your skills, that's excellent remedy. And this period will support you. It'll give you all the tools and powerful techniques you may have learned in the past. Or this is also a period if you want to learn some new healing modalities, that would be perfect. So that's for Gemini rising, Gemini Lagna, Gemini ascendant. Share with your friends who are Gemini. They may benefit from this. And also write in the comments what is sitting in your Lagna, and then where is your Lagna Lord Mars sitting in your natal chart. I'll respond to these comments. So that's for Gemini rising. Then we have Cancer rising, Cancer Lagna, Cancer ascendant. Mars is exalted in your 7th house in the sign of Capricorn. And so Mars is in your 7th house of partnerships. Relationships are going to be forefront. And this transit will either define or refine, or it may also end some significant partnerships or relationships for you. And that includes both your personal relationship and also business partnership. So the 3-house activation, which is the 3 houses that are going to be impacted are, of course, the 7th house, that is Capricorn, and then the 10th house, that is Aries, ruled by Mars, and then the 5th house, Scorpio, ruled by Mars as well. So these houses will have a lot of power, a lot of strength, a lot of energy, action-oriented energy. Now, first of all, the 7th house, that is the house of marriage, business partnerships, contracts also, and there could be like open confrontations. So Mars here brings a very direct approach, sometimes even very aggressive energy to your one-on-one relationship. So expect important conversations or negotiations, and even possibly conflicts that clear the air. So you need direct conversations. You need direct like negotiation or face-to-face conversations to resolve any issues with in your partnerships. At the same time, 10th house is also ruled by Mars. And so this is your house of career and public reputation, public image. So professional, your ambition will be very high. You'll have more ambition, more drive. You will want recognition. You'll want to lead other people as a leader in your profession, in your business. So don't hold back. This is your moment. This is your time to shine in your profession, in your career. Then we have the 5th house, that is Scorpio, ruled by Mars as well. So this is the house of creativity. Okay, so the house of romance, the house of children, the house of speculative investments. So focus on your creative projects. You'll have a lot of energy to work on your creative projects. You'll also have romance that is very passionate. You'll fall in love maybe instantly. You'll have a very passionate connection if you're in a romantic relationship. There could be obsession also, like you want action right now. So that's the energy Mars, the 5th Lord exalted. It's a very powerful energy, drive for like possessing something or in your romantic relationship. And if you have children, they'll also need your active engagement. Like you'll need to physically be there, but this is a perfect time to do physical things with your children. Like go on a trip, go on a hike, or do some exercise, go to the gym or travel. Just be very physically active with your children. So this transit is asking you to balance your partnership on one side and your ambition, that's your 10th house on the other hand, and your creative passion and your children on the third front. Practically speaking, first of all, have a very direct and structured conversations with your partner about your relationship or your expectations. So what do you expect in a relationship? So be very clear, be very open on that. Secondly, formalize any business partnerships, or if you're entering into, let's say, if you're getting married also, or entering in any business partnerships, have a very clear formal agreements or terms and conditions for these partnerships. Okay. This is the time for you to assert yourself professionally. So pitch your projects, showcase your projects, showcase your talents, you have to claim your recognition. This is the perfect time to assert, to put your foot down and say, this is what I deserve. This is what I'm capable of. And then also pursue your creative projects very aggressively and with intensity. And this is the time to finish things that you may have started. Okay. And then again, like physical like sports and competition and creative challenges with your children, like give them some puzzles or just be very creative yourself and with your children also. So emotionally, relationships may feel very intense. There may be ending of relationships also that are not serving. There may be power struggles with your partner. Don't avoid. Now, that's the biggest mistake sometimes people do, is that if there is any slight the smell of confrontation or power struggle, then they avoid that. So you don't want to avoid during this transit, otherwise it may backfire. So navigate that very consciously. Maybe emotionally, you may feel conflicting energy in your profession. So don't be afraid of stepping up in your career. You may also attract powerful partners here because both your seventh house and your fifth house, they are active. So seventh house is romantic relationship and seventh house is the long-term relationship. So there may be like a power struggle or you may fall in love with very authoritative partners who are like leaders, action-oriented people. But check if this attraction is genuine or not. Spiritually, you want to see your partnerships or your partner as your spiritual teacher. See, Mars, you want to consider Mars as Murugan. Murugan is the Kartikeya who went to South India to start teaching and sharing his wisdom. So that is the Mars in the seventh house. Otherwise, it's because of this Puranic story that we hear. Lord Ganesha and Mars, they had this competition. Mars lost, even though he was the physically and he was much better than Ganesha. But he lost this challenge where they were basically he didn't get married, and so he left his home and went to South India. So that's exactly the energy of Mars in the seventh house. Okay, so now every relationship is showing you something about yourself. It's not about the other person, and so balance this masculine assertion with your natural like nurturing energy. That see Cancer rising, you're very nurturing and caring. That's the rule by Moon, but so both are needed at this time. Mars being very aggressive in your seventh house, Moon being your Lagna Lord. So this gentle energy and this masculine, very powerful, action-oriented energy, those will be at work. One thing you can do is create like a sacred space in your home for like couples meditation. Both your partner and you do have a puja room or a meditation room, do some devotional practice together. Or secondly, you can do a lot of physical work together, like doing some projects around house renovation, things, or go to the gym together. So those are very powerful remedies. And also you have to reflect on this, like, how do I maintain my identity while merging with another? So how do you balance your partnerships and yourself, your being who you are? So that's all what's happening with the sign of Cancer rising. Share with your friends who are Cancer rising and write in the comments what planet is sitting in your Lagna and where the planet Mars is sitting in your natal chart. So that's for Cancer, right? For Leo rising, Leo Lagna Ascendant, Mars is energizing your sixth house. Mars is exalted in the sign of Capricorn in your sixth house. That is the house of health, daily work, house of service. So this is the transit for a transformation through discipline, transformation through following a daily routine, dinacharya. So the three houses that are being activated, the three house activation is first the sixth house, of course, where Mars is transiting the sign of Capricorn. Then the ninth house, your ninth house ruled by Aries, ninth house is Aries, that is ruled by Mars. And then you have the fourth house, Scorpio, that is ruled by Mars again. So these three houses are getting a boost. They're getting energized because Mars is exalted. So first in the sign of Capricorn, in your sixth house. So that is the house of health, also the house of enemies, house of dinacharya, daily routine, house of service, serving other people, that is sixth house, and is the house of employment and employees. So Mars here, it's demanding from you that you become serious about your physical well-being and your work. This is the golden opportunity to take on your health. Be very proactive and physical. Literally it's saying, take action about your health. It's in your own hands. No more excuses. So structure your days, your dinacharya, your daily routine, so that you focus on your health and well-being and completely transform your health. Then, of course, the sixth house is also your employment, your job. So this is giving you extra energy to be very proactive, very active in your profession. Just do more work, be more physically active. Also, sixth house is service. So doing volunteer service, physical service with your body, going to a old age home or volunteering somewhere, that's a really powerful remedy for this sixth house transit. Then we have ninth house is getting activated, right? So ninth house Aries is ruled by Mars, of course. So this is the house of higher learning, your dharma, your purpose, your teachers, your gurus, your father, your long distance journeys. So all of those are blessed by the Lord being exalted. So you want to learn aggressively, like you really want to take action when it comes to your joining some courses or higher studies or wisdom. You want to travel with purpose, like a spiritual journey or pilgrimage, or even travel for work is also good. You can actually, this is good for travel abroad for work, because the ninth house is the 12th from your 10th house. So ninth house represents travel abroad for profession. And so the ruler is exalted. This is a good time for that. This is also good for teaching and publishing and getting help from your Sangha, or serving or helping your Sangha in turn. And then the third house that is impacted is, or energized, is Scorpio. That is your fourth house. So this is the house of your Sukha Sthana. This is the inner happiness. This is the house of your physical place of residence, your home, and your mother, and this is your emotional foundation, and also like real estate and property and vehicles. So deep emotions around around your home, your family, those will surface. Like you feel emotional about your home, your mother, your lineage, your family background, all that. Emotional release is very much possible. So this is really wonderful time to let go of any, even like past life trauma, or even hidden issues or emotions that are impacting you for a long time. And then real estate, it's a good time to get into, do some deals. But of course, this is not real estate advice. This is not financial advice, but there's very powerful, good energy. And then also fourth house is your mother. So take extra care of your mother, her health in general, but also you can do physical things, activities with your mother. And so basically this transit, it's connecting your daily discipline with your higher purpose, that is the ninth house, and also to your emotional roots, that is your fourth house. It's a very powerful activity. These totally seemingly different kind of energies are getting activated. So first of all, implement a rigorous health transformation routine, like with the structured diet or consistent training, especially physical training is really important during this transit. Then you want to improve your workplace productivity. So be more be more action. Just get projects done, get things done at your work. Tackle any of the backlogs with almost like military precision. Okay, so finish off your tasks, your projects, and then also great time to enroll in some course or higher studies, pursue higher studies, and face or address any issues, domestic front, any issues with the family or family members, directly address them and resolve those issues, including like even renovations or boundaries with the relatives and things like that. And then be very firm with your employees or people who work at your firm. If you're a leader, so be a leader, be very fair, also be very direct, have everything sorted out with people who are working for you. So emotionally, this is the time to be very perfect, like perfectionism around your health. Emotionally, you want to be ready that you are going to transform your health, take things in your own matter. So you may want to work with this focus on, it's about discipline with self-compassion, taking action, but also being very compassionate, not like a military ruler, but taking action with compassion as well. So don't punish yourself, but transform yourself. There could be deep emotions around your, like I said, fourth house lineage, but also especially with your mother or your home, your childhood. Some of those issues or emotional troubles you had, those may come to surface. Don't push them away. Just process those emotions and release them. They're ready to be healed. This is the time that Mars exalted will help you release those pending karma, that emotions. You may feel also sixth house is competitions, actually. Excellent time to sit in competitive exams or for your education or anything, also taking care of any external enemies head on. You'll be victorious in any court cases or anything legal matters. This is a good time to take action, take proactive action and strong footing. On the spiritual side, almost treat your daily work as your spiritual practice. Sixth house is the profession, your job, your work, and the dinacharya, the daily routine. So treat those things as your spiritual practice. Now, pretty much like every task becomes like karma yoga for you. So that's the word. So karma yoga, that should be your theme, your motivation, just to do your karma. That is the sixth house. Establish like some sacred space in your home. That's the fourth house. And clear any ancestral patterns through rituals. So do some rituals and things to clear the energy in your home, in your fourth house matters. And then I would highly, strongly recommend like long distance or pilgrimage, spiritual travel with your Sangha brothers, sisters. And then also you can seek teachers who are from a different culture or teachers abroad. And so your your routine becomes your offerings to the God, but it's like devotion with discipline. So Mars will give you all the energy to be very powerfully involved in in your work also. Sixth house give you energy. And the very important thing is to understand not to get confrontational at work. So there'll be anger, frustration possible. Just stay grounded, act as a mentor, as a guide, and do your work. Lots of projects. Get things done, basically. Get things done. That's the theme for this period. So that's for Leo rising. So share with your Leo rising friends. Write in the comment section where is your Lagna Lord? Sun is placed, and where is Mars placed, and who is sitting in the first house? We can discuss. So that's for Leo rising. Virgo rising, Virgo Lagna, Virgo ascendant. We are talking about Mars exalted in the sign of Capricorn. And this is literally activating your fifth house. Mars is transiting through your fifth house. Very powerful energy in your fifth. Mars is igniting the fifth house of creativity, the fifth house of romance, and fifth house of risk taking, and your children. So this is the transit to create with discipline. So this is creation. Fifth house is creation, but Mars is exalted there. It's like discipline. And so create with discipline, but also you love with intensity. That's the romantic relationships. And Mars is very passionate, very intense. So love with intensity, but create with discipline and passion as well. So the three house activation theory that I use, the three houses that are going to be energized by this transit are, of course, the fifth house, the sign of Capricorn, where Mars is physically transiting. And then Mars rules your eighth house, that is the sign of Aries. And Mars rules your third house, the sign of Scorpio. So those three houses are getting all the positive vibes. So first, the fifth house, again, other things, is the house of creative expression, of course, the children, romance and speculation, and also joy and mantra shastra. So listen to a lot of mantras or do chanting. Lots of chanting will really, especially you can chant the Mars mantras. Sima mantra, Mars Bij mantra. Those are there in the description also. So Mars brings a serious energy to like love relationships. So this isn't like just frivolous fun. This is like meaningfully you want to create something both in terms of your romantic relationship and also in general creative projects. Essentially, this is the time to finish off things that you once started. So finish off that book, finish off that project that you started, or any artwork, or anything that you start with your children also. Okay, so launch that project. That's the key. So launch that project, whatever project that is, no matter, and don't think about the result or what might happen, this and that. And then at the same time, your eighth house getting activated. Eighth Lord is exalted. So this is the house of transformation and also shared resources. So this is the time to be very strong and assertive in asking for your fair share. This is also time for financial restructuring. This is time for especially taking care or sorting out any issues with your debts or investments. Those areas will be the focus. And they may not be the focus on their own. You may want to settle any of the issues or disputes in those areas. And then, of course, eighth house is esoteric wisdom, deep esoteric wisdom. So psychological breakthroughs are possible. Do a lot of research, soul searching, learn from the gurus, join some courses. Your eighth house is going to give you a lot of blessings during this transit. And then we have third house, Scorpio, that is activated. House of communication, house of siblings, and house of short distance travels, house of general your skills with your hands especially. So your words carry unusual power right now, especially like actually written communication and also networking, marketing, sales. Absolutely fantastic. Just go and do things related to your communication. Writing, so finish off that writing project, finish off that book literally. And then teaching. See, the third house is connecting with people through short distance travels or through your writing and marketing and sales. So this transit connects your creativity to your depth and your writing. So all these three houses are active. So now, first of all, be very creative and pursue that creativity with discipline. So have some deadlines and These are the step by step how to achieve, how to finish off those projects. And then also in terms of investments, you can take calculated risks or even starting some new things like starting a company. Of course, this is not financial advice, but overall, fifth house will give you a lot of power and creative power, ideas about setting up new ventures, new being an entrepreneur. If you ever wanted to start something, this period will support you wholeheartedly. And there may be some issues with the younger siblings, and this is the time to resolve those conflicts, those issues. So have a direct conversation and don't avoid any pending issues with your siblings. Time to also restructure your finances, your debts, your investments. And on the emotional, you may still find those creative blocks or some fear from the past. Now is the time to let go of those fears. It's like your intensity, because Mars in Capricorn is very strong. It's the warrior in chief and all powerful. So you want to use that energy in your creative work and your both written communication and creating some projects, some things, some ideas. And then spiritually, this use creative expression as your spiritual practice. So you need not, if you go to the temples and stuff, that's fine, but you can pretty much create something that becomes your offering, so that channel your divine energy through your craft. So use craft as your means to reach God or consciousness. And then also study and practice any like creative visualizations like meditations, manifestations with discipline. So every day before going to bed, things like that. Also keep a journal, because third house is completely activated. Write down any ideas, any things, or your thoughts, or just your experiences for the day. So write about how you discover your first time you tasted success. Write about all your experience. Also, you can write about your dreams. So your mantra would be like, you want to create something, but coming from a very deep place that is your fifth house. So that's those are the strengths, the things that are impacted for Virgo rising. Write in the comment section where your Mars is sitting in the natal chart and share with your Virgo rising friends who may benefit from this. Libra rising, Libra, Lagna, Libra, ascendant. Mars is exalted in your fourth house in the sign of Capricorn. And also Mars rules your seventh house. That is the sign of Aries. And Mars is the ruler of your second house. That is sign of Scorpio. So these are the triple house activation. The fourth house, the seventh house, and the second house. These three houses are getting all the blessing. So Mars is activating your fourth house of home and family and emotional foundation. So this is the time to build your base with warrior energy. That's the Mars, the warrior in chief is exalted, ready to take on, ready to act and give you blessings. First of all, the fourth house, that's Capricorn, is the house of your home, physical residence, to do lots of physical work, renovation, improvement in your home. Fourth house is your mother. So take care of your mother, do things with your mother, physical, like going for a walk and things. But there could be harsh energy also, anger coming to the surface. So release any emotional baggage from the past when it comes to your relationship with your mother. Then take care of real estate and your property. This could be a good period for deals or buying or just doing a lot of setting things for your real estate properties, or just renovating your real estate, your investment properties also. So this is not a real estate advice, but that's the energy we see from the planets. And then vehicles also, you may buy some new vehicles. And more importantly, this period will help you understand what makes you happy long term. So this is a good time to focus on your emotional security. Okay, so do lots of contemplation, or actually through physical work also, like exercise or walking or doing renovation. Those things will actually help you understand what makes you happy. Emotionally, you'll feel more grounded. So basically, Mars here wants you to build your foundation through home improvements, through property decisions, through like setting family boundaries with your family. All these actions, these activities will be supported. Then Mars is your seventh lord, the sign of Aries. So this is your seventh house, the house of partnerships, both personal and business partnerships. So you have to be very assertive in your relationships right now. And assertive in the sense, not be aggressive, but be very open and direct. So talk to your partner, express your needs very clearly and openly. At the same time, try to understand the expectations and the needs of your partner also. So you want to negotiate. You want to have clear terms, the terms and conditions of your partnership with your business partner. But don't sacrifice yourself for false harmony. This is not the time to be very docile. This is not the time to just accept things even if they're not working for you. This is the time, this period may also dissolve some partnerships that are not working for you. So this is a cleansing phase, but this is very direct, bringing things out in the open and then discussing and resolving any issues for the long term. Then you have the second house, that is Scorpio, ruled by Mars. That's the house of wealth and speech and diet and family values. So your relationship with money will transform. What you value is evolving. First of all, speak your truth. It's very important. That'll take you far, even when it's uncomfortable, because Mars wants to reveal the truth. Mars doesn't beat around the bush. So this transit is connecting your emotional security with your partnership, and also with your family values. So another interesting or very powerful remedy is to work on your finances with your partner. Maybe start some project or something that will bring in more money with your partner. So home improvements and renovation, organizing your home, decluttering is also very powerful. And then you can transform your relationship with money, restructure your finances, and then emotionally, you will feel that your emotional needs are becoming more clear. This transit will throw light on what really makes you happy deep down. So you cannot fake stability anymore. So you cannot say, oh, I'm happy, I'm good, emotionally, I'm in a good place. You have to analyze, you'll have to understand what really makes you happy. And if things are not the way that you want them to be, so now is the time to take action. And there will be, the partnerships will demand a good balance of assertive nature and harmony and peace. Because Libra rising, you're by nature, you're a negotiator, you're a peacemaker, you want to help other people, you want fairness in everything, including your relationships. So you can never abandon that inherent nature that you have of peace and harmony. But this is the time to stand your ground also, to be very assertive. And so you can lean into like healthy conflict to resolve any difficult situation or energy. And then, so the money and self-worth will be completely like intertwined. So examine where you undervalue yourself. So basically, find your true worth, find your value. Spiritual practices also, you can do certain things like you can have a dedicated space in your home. That's the fourth house. Yeah, do more puja. So instead of like going to the temple or outside, you just have a temple or a sacred space in your home. You can also do some tarpan, ancestral worship. You can clear some ancestral karma through conscious forgiveness or through some ritual sitting at home. That's the fourth house. You want to practice a lot of grounding meditations. And because your foundation is being strengthened, foundation is the fourth house that is being strengthened with the exalted Mars there. And so you need to understand, one of the key, like meditation also you can do is, what is my value system? What do I value? And how do I protect what I value, what I love? So that's the energy for the sign of Libra. So if you have any friends who are Libra rising, please share this video with them. And also write in the comment section, what planets are sitting in your first house, and then where is Mars sitting in your natal chart. Then we have Scorpio rising, Scorpio Lagna, Scorpio ascendant. Very important transit for you, because we are talking about your Lagna Lord, that is the planet Mars. So Mars is your planet. Mars, when Mars is exalted, you feel it in your bones. You feel the energy, you feel that power in all areas of your life. So this is your peak period for self-transformation and also powerful communication. That's the third house. So Mars, the Lagna Lord, is transiting through your third house. So the triple house, the three house activation that's happening is the third house, the sign of Capricorn. That's very powerful, the exalted planet there. And then Mars rules your sixth house, sign of Aries. And Mars is your Lagna Lord. Of course, that is your first house. So first, let's discuss the third house transit of Mars. That's the house of communication. That is the house of courage, Parakram Bhava. That is the house of your younger siblings. And that's the house of your skills, especially skills with your hands, writing skills, marketing, communication, sales, all of that is the third house. So Mars here, it'll help you reach out to a lot of people. So this is a good time to do lots of short distance travels, like action oriented. Be out there, meet with people and write and publish, organize some networking events, some webinars, in-person classes or seminars. And then also anything you write or publish during this time, even newsletters, blogs, anything, they will have a lot of power. They'll have like authority during this transit. Then we have the sixth house. Sixth house is it's the house of health. It's your daily work also, dinacharya, your routine. So this is the time to transform your routine with intensity. Like you'll have all the energy to act upon any of the resolutions you have for your health in general for all of your life. This will support radical lifestyle changes if you are working on your health. So also sixth house is your job, your profession. So be more active. You'll have more energy to do things at work, more projects, or just doing more things in your current job. Then because your Lagna Lord is exalted, that means that is you, your identity, your body, your will, your persona. So when Mars is exalted, your personal power is at its peak. So you feel very confident. You feel that you can do it. You feel that you are meant for something big. So assert yourself. Be very assertive and shed any lack of confidence you may have had in the past. So this is the defining moment. So define yourself. Show the world who you are. That's the Lagna Lord exalted. Practically focus on communication, and your communication will be very clear. So send out the message. You can write, publish podcast also. Very powerful energy podcast you can do. And then learn any new skills, master any practical skills through intensive training, like skills with your hands, healing, or artwork, artistic talents, all of those skills. If you have any already, then enhance those. Or if not, then you can start learning, pick up some new skills. You'll be transforming your health and your daily routine. And then also your presence is going to be very powerful. This is your peak, like self-determination period. And then resolve any conflicts with siblings or neighbors clearly right now. And there's no, so Mars does not beat around the bush. So either there'll be confrontation, anger stuff, or you just resolve the issues and move on. So that's the energy. And then now emotionally, your words, the written words, like your written communication, has the power to transform people or to destroy or cause destruction. So you have to be careful, but you have the power. You have this is really golden opportunity to use your language consciously and transform people's lives. And your as a powerful remedy, you can actually do journaling. Write down your experiences, your thoughts, your dreams. That's the third house. They'll help you a lot. And then sixth house is also the house of enemies and sitting in competitive exams. So that's going to be very fruitful, very powerful energy for that. And if you ever had lack of confidence, or right now, if you feel not so confident, this is the time to show your leadership skills, show your power, manifest things, and be a leader. This period will give you the energy where it's not about planning anymore. This is about taking action and taking firm action, being very assertive. So people will start recognizing your power and your presence and the gifts that you have to share with the world. So the third house is all the skills and the gifts that you bring in. So so it's making you strong as a leader, but also giving you skills and tools you can use and share with other people. So it's a very transformative period for Scorpio. That's your Lagna Lord is exalted. Excellent results during these few weeks when Mars is going to be exalted. So that's for Scorpio. And write down in the comment section which planets are sitting in your Lagna and where Mars is sitting in your natal chart, and share with your friends who are Scorpio risings who may benefit from this video. Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius Lagna, Sagittarius Ascendant. Mars is exalted in your second house in the sign of Capricorn. And Mars is the ruler of your fifth house, that is the sign of Aries. And Mars is the ruler of your 12th house, that is the sign of Scorpio. So first of all, that's the triple house activation. So this is time to get very aggressive about your income, about your accumulated resources. So take some concrete action, not about planning or thinking or strategizing. Now is the time to take action and also be very clear about your values, what matters the most to you. The second house is the house of money. It's the house of speech. It's also the house of family and values and all that, extended family. So Mars here demands that you take your finances very seriously. You build wealth with discipline. Mars is the warrior in chief. It's very strong. It's asking you to be very disciplined with your money, with your wealth. Secondly, speak your truth. Speak your truth, but also with authority, because there is no time to go around the bush anymore And you need to know what you stand for exactly, and then you speak your truth. So it's about being very direct, and your speech will have immense power during this transit. Literally, an exalted planet sitting in the second house. And second house is also the food, the diet. So Mars here, you may have tendency of eating more pitta, more spicy food, which is okay. But this is also about discipline with your food, with your diet. So Mars here, very strong, giving you all the power, energy to bring more discipline in your diet, in your food habit. The fifth lord is exalted. Fifth house is the house of creativity. That means time to be very creative. Fifth house is children, to do more bigger things, projects with your children. There may be some positive developments in their own life. Fifth house is romantic partnerships also. So there may be conflicts, ego issues are possible in your romantic relationships because exalted planet can have a lot of ego. So be very careful around that. Also, fifth house is speculative investment. So this may be a good time for stock market for you specifically, but this is not financial advice. Fifth house is also the mantra shastra. Second house is the house of speech. So literally, this is a really rare and powerful combination, which is good for chanting mantras. You may have already some mantras that you chant, or you can begin with a new mantra. So this will give you all the power to manifest things and create this environment, this frequency around you, so you can transform yourself and other people through your chanting, through your mantras. And then also time to take very bold creative action. Mars is bold, Mars is strong. So creativity has to be very bold, not just something hidden. And this could also lead to a very passionate romantic connection with somebody. And so you got to be careful that this is Mars is always, sometimes Mars thinks before, it takes action before thinking. Be careful not to fall in love with somebody just for this physical attraction, but look through the any Maya or illusion. Because that's because a 12th Lord, Mars is also your 12th Lord. So this is the house of isolation, house of spirituality, subconscious mind, foreign countries, foreign land, foreign people. So all of that deep inner work is happening. So secrets may be revealed. A really good time to go to an ashram and do some physical seva. That's the best combination, the perfect remedy for this exalted 12th Lord. Now, you may have vivid dreams. So keep a journal for your dreams. Do yoga nidra, past life regression. But the retreat will be necessary. You may do a self-retreat at home, just being silent, or go to an ashram, literally go to a temple and attend some retreat. So this is the 12th house is giving you blessings by taking action. You have to do something about your subconscious mind, about the world beyond. Now, this is also like second house is very powerful. So that means you can negotiate some raises or salary with your managers. You can also build savings with strict discipline, because second house and 12th house are connected. So essentially 12th Lord in the second house. So good time for investment. So any investments that you make or do during this time, or savings and things like that, those will really help you grow your accumulated resources, that is your wealth. And also you will invest in assets that are aligned with your values, with your deepest values. That's the second house, is your value system, and 12th house is investments. So this is the time to, if you have any portfolio in your portfolio, if you have any investments that are unethical or not aligned with your purpose, your value system, then those you need to let go. And this is so emotionally, you may feel more need for security around your finances. And so that'll be the primary focus. And very important, focus on your dreams. You may have literally like $1 million idea in your dreams, or in your meditation, or through your in your retreats. And also give a lot of donations for spiritual causes, because you want to circulate the energy. Second house is the wealth and the finances and the money. 12th house is the house of losses or giving away donations. So this is a perfect combination. So the more you do that, the more it will give you blessings in your own life. So that comes back 100 times, 100-fold. So that's what's happening for Sagittarius rising. Really, your fifth house, 12th house, and second house are activated, very strong energy. And also Mars is being aspected by Jupiter in the transit, because Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini. So the fifth aspect from Taurus is there. So these are the blessings of the gurus. You'll see expansion in all of these three houses. So share with your friends who are Sagittarius rising, and write in the comment section where your Mars is placed in the natal chart. Capricorn rising, Capricorn, Lagna, Capricorn, ascendant. Oh my God. Mars is transiting through your first house and it is exalted. So, this is your first house, your sign, your body, your throne, literally. So, the most powerful Mars transit you'll experience. So, don't waste this energy, don't waste this opportunity. So, the triple house activation is the first house, that is Capricorn, that's energized because Mars is exalted there, and then Mars is also your fourth lord and your 11th lord. So really big activation. A lot of things are getting energized. First of all, the house of self, the house of your body, the first house, your personality, who you are, the direction of your life. So Mars is exalted here. That means you are exalted. So your physical energy is at its peak, your drive and your motivation, your ability to take action, all of those things are at the peak capacity. This is your moment. Don't waste this energy again. And also be very assertive. You are a leader. You are born with a purpose. You are here for a very particular purpose and specific skills and strengths that you bring or brought from the past lives. Discover those and work on those. And then Mars, the fourth lord, is exalted in the first house. That means the house of home and family and real estate and mother. Those areas are very good, very powerful. Real estate. And in fact, the deals will come to you. You don't have to go search for the deals. So take bold action related to the home matters, which is your own house of the place of residence, renovation or expansion of your home, but also real estate, expansion of your investments. Now also set boundaries with your family. That's the fourth house also. But very big on understanding what is your long-term happiness, what gives you happiness, sukhasthana. Because when fourth lord goes to the first house, that means you cannot escape this quest for happiness. And then now Mars is very strong here, so it'll give you all the energy to take action and to do something about it. Then we have the 11th house. 11th lord is exalted. That means fulfillment of desires. 11th house is the house of gains and network, social media and large organizations and networking. And so all of that is transforming. You will have opportunities to make new friends. People will come to you. Also, you will act as a leader for groups and for social causes. And also, this is a good time to organize some events, networking events, socializing and reaching out to people and taking your ideas and your skills out to the public. Take very decisive personal action, like initiate. It's like resetting your life to be a leader and assert without hesitation. Then you'll also transform your physical body through this process. Good time for even rigorous training, like physical training, if your body allows. And then spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, with your network and communities, and also pursue ambitious goals. This is time to set big goals, think big, like 10x results. And then this whole process will update your personal brand, your personal image. That will start becoming more visible to everybody. So if you were hiding till now with all your skills and talents, now is the time to bring those out in the open. So this emotionally, you'll actually feel very powerful. You'll feel this exalted energy. But be careful not to steamroll other people. So don't just ignore everybody else. Do powerful things and as a leader, but be compassionate also. The home front and the family will demand your engagement, your energy, your attention. So don't postpone any difficult conversations, okay? With your family members, with yourself, and with your friends. All of that is going to be at the forefront. Mars demands answers. Mars demands clarity and resolution of any conflicts with your fourth house and 11th house and first house people. You may actually end some friendships that are not serving you, and other friendships may deepen. So you have it's like cleansing phase for your friendships. So let that happen. And spiritually also, this is like personal spiritual mastery at your fingertips. So you'll understand what makes you happy, what makes you strong, what makes you a leader, and then what are the things that you desire, 11th house. So it's good time to set up some good, rigorous daily routine. And the use the power of this collective consciousness to your benefit, but also serve the humanity, serve something bigger and larger than yourself. That's the whole idea, the meaning of the 11th house. You can think of that as, so say to yourself that I am the architect of my own realities. That's the 11th house and first house connection. You can manifest things. You can literally create a new world, a new earth, or a new life for yourself in service to the highest good for the humanity. So that it's a very powerful transit, not to get too philosophical, but practically really activating a lot of the things that will give you happiness down the road for years to come. So that's for Capricorn rising. So please do share, especially Capricorn rising friends. They would love to see this transit. And also, Mars is aspected by Jupiter during this transit. From Gemini, it's retrograde. So the blessings of the gurus are there, and fantastic period. So it's up to us to use that energy, those blessings. And also write in the comment section which planets are sitting in your Lagna in Capricorn. That's going to be very important, especially for Capricorn rising. And where your Mars is placed, that's also very important. So that's for Capricorn rising. Aquarius rising, Aquarius Lagna. Very interesting transit for you. Mars is exalted in your 12th house in the sign of Capricorn. So 12th house is very subtle. It's the hidden things, including hidden enemies, hidden potential, hidden skills, and also the subconscious mind. So the warrior is going inwards. See, 12th house is the hidden house, right? But Mars is the warrior in chief. So it's a very interesting position for Mars. But don't mistake this quietness for weakness. So it's like the spiritual warrior. Literally, this transit for you is to turn you into a spiritual warrior. So you want to awaken your subconscious mind. You have all the power, all the energy to go within and discover those secrets. So the triple house activation, that is, which three houses are getting energized, activated by this transit. The first one, of course, the 12th house, Capricorn. Then you have the third house, that is a sign of Aries, ruled by Mars. And then your 10th house is activated. That's the sign of Scorpio. So the 10th Lord is exalted as well. So first, the 12th house, the house of isolation, the house of retreats, the house of spirituality. Moksha Sthana is the foreign countries, is the foreign lands, other planes of existence, your past life, your ancestors. It's also the restricted place, like hospitals and the anything going on that is like restricted area, energetically or physically. So Mars here, it'll work behind the scenes. So all your action-oriented things, all your results, anything you do during this time, it's going to be under the wraps. It's like secret projects going on, or even inner battles going on within yourself. Who am I? What am I doing here? So there will be a lot of spiritual intensity. This is not a transit for visibility. This is not for show off. This is not the transit for showing off even your physical strength. This is not transit to show off your projects or your children or your achievements. It's a transit for deep hidden transformation. See, the 12th house is the most hidden house. 8th house is also hidden, but 12th house is like secret things, secret skills, enemies also. But Mars going there means it will transform. Mars does not sit quiet. Mars has to act. Action is the key word for Mars. So that means there will be some action transformation, but they'll be hidden away from the sight of the world. And then your third house. Third house is activated means a house of communication, the house of writing, and also networking, reaching out to people, short distance travels. Now, this is connecting the third house and the 12th house, which are 12th house is foreign travel, third house is short distance travel. So all forms of travel are supported. Then you want to write a journal, write with authority, or if you're a writer, finish off that book or send out powerful newsletters, blogs. Just write down some things. Third house is really activated, and your words will have a huge impact on others. You never know, just a simple paragraph that you write might change somebody's life, but you will be working quietly. Like you won't have like splash, you won't make a noise. Quietly you just release your words through your writing. Those will have a profound impact on other people. Then the 10th Lord is exalted in the 12th house. That's the house of career, the 10th house, the house of public reputation. You'll have huge professional ambition. All of a sudden, you'll feel like 10 times more powerful. I want to achieve, not just become the CEO, I want to become the president of the country. So there could be even like obsessive ambitions, but there could be transformation in your career, in your work. So you may actually change jobs. You may end one career and start another one, or you may have more opportunities in a foreign country, or you may actually take a break and go for a retreat, take a break from your profession or just busy schedule, and then rest and recuperate and then come back. Practically speaking, one is you want to work strategically behind the scenes. So for profession, the 10th lord and the 12th, you want to do a lot of research, you want to do a lot of planning and like confidential projects, research-oriented projects also. You want to communicate very boldly. That is the third lord is exalted, and writing and all of that things we discussed. Also, you can teach with authority. You want to transform your career direction with intensity, like with purpose. It's not like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know which career I'm supposed to be working. So this will give you direction. This will give you structure. This will give you intensity to make changes in your career, transform your career so that it's aligned with your purpose. So you may also, you may want to address any subconscious blocks you have through therapy or through structured inner work or any like astral travel, enrolling in some courses, learning yourself. But you may want to engage or help with the volunteer at the hospitals or ashrams also. Literally, you go to the ashram and or research facilities, help with the research, finding cures and things like that. So there's a very powerful transit for you in all those areas. Now, emotionally also, you may actually feel some kind of hidden anger or hidden grief or fear may come back. It may resurface like from the past or the past lives. There may be some fears, unknown fear, phobia, or something that might have happened. Those things will come to surface. You want to release them through your dreams, through yoga nidra, lucid dreaming, to past life regression and doing tarpan and seeking the blessings of your ancestors. So don't push it back. So if anything's coming to the surface, fear, grief, or anger, let it come to the surface and release. This is the wonderful, powerful window to do all of that work. It doesn't happen very often. And the most difficult thing is to release any fears or any grief from the past. And then balance your strive. You feel very ambitious in this period, but you may have to surrender also. This is a combination of 10th house and the 12th house. And as I said, make sure you keep a diary or a journal for your dreams and practice lots of meditation and letting go, and actual donations. Any kind of donation is going to be very wonderful and powerful remedy during this transit. So that's for Aquarius rising. Share with your friends who are Aquarius rising and write in the comment section where Mars is sitting in your chart, and also what planets are sitting in your lagna for Aquarius risings. Pisces rising, Pisces lagna, Pisces ascendant. Mars, Mangal is exalted in your 11th house in the sign of Capricorn. This is activating the house of gains, the house of networks, the house of big dreams and ambitions and desires. So this is the time to pursue your largest ambitions through community work, through your network, extended community, through collective action. So the triple house activation that's happening is the three houses that are being energized through or by this transit are, of course, the 11th house where Mars is transiting, the sign of Capricorn. And then the second house, Mars is your second house lord, the sign of Aries. And also Mars is your 9th lord, the sign of Scorpio. So this is amazing. This is literally like amazing grace falling upon you. The 9th house is the house of the good luck. So first of all, the 11th house energized, an exalted planet transiting through your 11th house, the house of gains and friends and networks and elder siblings and also social causes, helping the humanity. So Mars here brings the warrior energy to your social sphere. Basically, your social circle will be electrified. You'll be leading groups. You'll be joining some movements. You'll be networking aggressively with a very structured way, aligned and ambitious with people who are very ambitious, just like you. So you'll make these powerful connections during this transit. And then you'll also be working actively to improve your income. Your finances will show signs of improvement. Then we have the second lord that is exalted in your 11th house. Second house and 11th house both are the money houses. Second house is your accumulated resources, and 11th house is your income, regular income, like monthly income coming in, like salary or business income. So these two houses are getting there's a yoga forming between these two houses. That is a big dhana yoga. Dhana means wealth. So literally, the whole focus will be on finances for you for Pisces rising. The house of money, second house, and the house of values and your speech and your food. Now, assert your value. You will be understanding what is your value system. Okay. Second, any money related issues or matter. For example, say negotiation of your salary, negotiation for a pay raise or next promotion, things like that. You can be very bold and ask for that during this period. You can be very assertive. So it's not like hollow promise or being a leader who doesn't have any foundation. This is about bold action, but with a concrete foundation. So you'll have a structured plan for your future, but also immediately you can ask for the compensation and the raise. But also, this is like creating some new avenues, projects to improve your income down the road. And you will be feeling the positive energy because we're all also talking about the ninth lord, that is Mars. Ninth house is the house of Bhagyasthan, the house of luck. So the ninth lord exalted means luck will shine upon you literally. Ninth house is also the house of higher wisdom and learning from the gurus, being a guru yourself, and long distance travels and pilgrimage, spending time with your sangha, going to the religious places, temples, all of that. You want to maybe pick up some courses or start higher studies. You may want to travel for purpose with your sangha. And then also teaching. Become a teacher, become a guru yourself, help other people pursue their goals. Now you yourself will see your wishes and desires will be fulfilled. And you will literally see gains in your spiritual path. So you'll have more clarity about your spiritual path. And if you are doing anything on social media, this is a perfect time. Second house is the house of speech. The Lord of that is exalted, not just exalted, but in the 11th house of social media. So, organizing some podcasts, organizing some webinars, or a YouTube channel, anything. So, use your words, your speech on social media to bring about a very positive shift in the humanity, serving the humanity, solving some big problems of the humanity, and the luck will shine upon you because we're talking about the ninth lord as well. So this is an excellent combination for wealth and for desires and network. And also one other thing is the food, the diet. So this will give you energy and discipline to improve your food, your diet, and then the as I said, the finances will improve as well. So that's for Pisces rising. Share with your friends who are Pisces rising. And also write in the comments what is your rising, what planets are sitting in your rising sign, and also where your Mars is placed in your chart. So that's for Pisces rising. Thanks for watching.